since you have been in Microsoft for 17 years
Mm.
now, and you have been also maybe in other careers, but a memorable mistake that you have done that you are allowed to share with us.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I think I've had so many mistakes, um, but I mean, okay, so a mistake was always when you are in services and you have to do delivery of solutions, large complex solutions,
Mm.
because that's eventually where you get right the most
Yeah.
complex, the largest, and whatever, right? I think it's all about the estimation, right?
Mm.
I think that's a challenge that we have in these large projects that have a finite date.
Mm.
You have to accomplish things by a date. I think my probably the biggest mistake or failure was a poor estimation, right? I mean, we venture to say to assume that something's going to take what it's going to take,
Mm.
right? And yes, you don't have sometimes you don't have the luxury of agile or scrum, because when you say a contract,
Mm.
you it's not easy to just say, yeah, I will sell you the work and we'll see how far we get. And the customers is like, no, you got to commit to something, right? I mean, that's the,
Yeah,
the,
that's actually
the risk of business. So
mm.
I think I did an estimation for a work that was supposed to finish in 6 months, and it took like 2 years,
Mm.
and I take a good portion of the responsibility because um, I was very optimistic, right?
Mm.
But then also we had to face, a number of challenges with the technology that we introduced and everything, and um, in so then if you ask me, right, why was that a biggest mistake? Is because when you are leading a team,
Mm.
you are the responsible of a team, so then you are also responsible on recovering things, right? So
Yeah,
then that means more work for everybody, and tough situations to deal with, right?
yeah.
I think that would probably be one of my I don't know, biggest mistakes, in the career.
But do you, I mean, since you have such an experience, I mean, from all kinds, and you actually mentioned this as a mistake. But what I mean, I guess that everyone can relate to this. I mean, the estimation is very hard. But what from your experience, what have you learned? What is the cure for estimation? What should you bring to
Yeah,
the table when you do
well, you
estimation?
know what? Um, I love gradual approaches, right?
Mm.
I love approaches that are gradual and that are simplistic. You
Mm.
know, um, Here's the thing, right? And I mean, I could write a book of the things that I've seen.
Yeah,
Not the things that I've necessarily
we're
done.
looking
Yeah,
forward
right?
to it. We would buy it. No
Okay.
problem.
Well,
I am. Yeah, you have two copies
so
now.
two,
Two copies sold. No problem.
that's what it takes. So, um, one thing that I've noticed is that sometimes we think that by making something more complex, we make it better,
Mm.
and that is a fallacy. That is not true. I mean, it's I just
Mm.
keep saying simplicity is your friend. I mean, look for the simple solutions. Don't look to overcomplicate things, because every time that you overcomplicate something, then
Mm.
you end up creating additional problems to
Mm.
be fixed by someone else. Here's the thing, right? And we are seeing that with AI today, right? AI, which has all of these engines and the models and everything behind the scenes,
Mm.
it cannot handle the complexity of the human being and everything around. So then, the more complex you create, a solution for a problem. So then you end up creating another problem,
Yeah.
right? And that's a typical pattern. Sometimes we do it because of ego. Sometimes we do it because we are so fixated in the solution rather than the problem. You
Yeah.
gotta you gotta focus on the problem
Yeah.
more than in the solution. The solution is a consequence, right? So
Mm.
it's just our nature. And
Yeah.
then there are some things that you have to experience them, or that
Yeah.
take time for you to realize, right? And then you get some gray hair or no hair.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so you realize, oh, you know what? I should have done it differently, right? And
Yeah.
and and, and yeah, that's life.